Legends continuity of Star Wars contains a vast number of diverse and interesting ship designs, from the massive Eclipse Super Star Destroyers down to the tiny A6 Interceptors and everything in between. Many of these designs have made their way into current Disney canon, but the majority have not. In this video, we are going to go through some of the designs that I particularly like that originated in the old expanded universe. Some of these designs have made their way into current Disney canon, but in a vastly altered form or with name or image only, keeping none of their lore from the old Legends materials from which they came. Built by Corellian Engineering Corporation, the Action Series freighters are much larger than the standard YT series of vessels we typically identify the company with. Durable and capable of carrying a large cargo hold, the Action shares the ease of modification common amongst CEC designs, allowing owners to customize their ships to suit their own needs to a high degree. With at least one ship, the Wild Card owned by the smuggler Talon Card, mounting full-size turbo lasers even. Honestly, if I could have any ship in Star Wars, it would be a heavily modified Action class, with a faster hyperdrive, improved shields, decent armament, and a hangar large enough to fit a moderately sized starfighter or small shuttle. Something about this design I just find very cool, though others understandably compare it to a handheld vacuum cleaner. Built as the successor to the X-Wing starfighter, the Ewing was one of the first designs built by the New Republic after the Battle of Endor. Enduring a lengthy design process, the ship missed out on seeing action until after the Thrawn campaigns had finished their course and the last Imperial Grand Admiral was dead. As a result of this, the New Republic leadership lost the sense of urgency to replace the X-Wing totally, leading to both types operating together even by the Yuuzhan Vong War. The E-Wing was a very capable design of warship and served well, introducing several new technologies and greater capability than the earlier X-Wing. The main downside of the fighter was its high maintenance requirements and cost, which dissuaded many squadrons from converting to the type for some time. Notably, Rogue Squadron would continue to fly X-Wings well into the time where they were supposed to have converted to the E-Wing. In the early Legends continuity, the Dreadnought was the mainstay warship of the Navy of the Old Republic prior to and during the Clone Wars, before it was replaced by the larger Victory and Imperial-class Star Destroyers. Even in the post-Endor period, the ships had decent firepower and were very well protected for their size. The main downsides for the vessels were their slow speed, lack of hangar space for many fighters, and massive 16,000-man crews. However, with refits, modernizations, and modifications, most of these deficiencies would be overcome. The basic design was widely produced as well, with licenses for local production being sold to many sector and planetary defense forces. As a result, a huge number of variants of the basic design were made over the years, with the Katana fleet dreadnoughts and assault frigates being among the best-known variant designs. If I were an admiral in the Star Wars universe and had to pick a flagship, I would honestly be tempted to choose a member of the Dreadnought class. It's just a handy little ship. Developed by the Empire after the introduction of the X-Wing into the fighter corps of the early Rebel Alliance, the TIE HN Hunter was intended as an improved variant of the then-standard TIE LN fighter, which would be better able to engage the new Alliance types in dogfights, which the lightly armed standard TIE with its twin laser cannons proved less than ideally suited to. The Hunter featured distinctive swing-wing S-foils in mimicry of those seen on the X-Wing, providing increased agility and heat dissipation over the standard TIE. The craft could also feature missiles and shield systems, with some versions of the craft also including a hyperdrive system. Intended to be brought into full-scale production to replace the TIE LN, the Hunter program experienced major issues with its early production, with Rebel strikes destroying initial factories and tactics developed by Imperial fighter commanders, allowing the LN to stand against the new Rebel type, eventually leading to just a trickle of these craft manufactured over the next decade, until the fall of the Empire caused the cessation of even this greatly diminished production. It is likely the Hunter, as with other very advanced TIE variants, was prohibitively expensive to manufacture in anything but small quantities. Seeing good results where it did see action, but never being present in force in any engagement it did take part in. Not to be confused with the interdictors used by the Galactic Empire during the war against the Alliance to restore the Republic, the Interdictor-class cruiser was designed initially for service with the Navy of the Galactic Republic during the time of the Mandalorian Wars. However, the type eventually saw much action in the Sith Empire of Darth Revan and was produced in staggering numbers via the ancient artifact known as the Star Forge. The craft was large for its day, but at 500 meters it is dwarfed by more modern warship types. It did feature an early version of the gravity well projectors used by the later ships of the same name used by the Empire. However, and in many ways it performed a role analogous to the Empire's Star Destroyer. For their time, the ships were among the most capable and destructive vessels in the galaxy, and played a key role in both the Republic's victory of the Mandalorian Crusaders, and later in the war which pitted the fallen Jedi Revan and Malak against the Republic they had previously served. They also looked just enough like a Star Destroyer to make their affiliation clear, while being different enough to not just be a cheap clone of that iconic vessel of the original trilogy. There we have just a few of the ships which I like the most from Legends continuity. Do let me know what you think of my choices, and also which ships you like the most from Star Wars. And finally, if you did like this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there.